Hello, Kemcho, kaise ho? How are you? So finally, one tick done by India, and one more to do on Sunday. But what I thought was that it was a fabulous batting show, and 256, as they say, is the second highest total in T20 World Cups. Something that has been done only once, which was way back in 2007 when Sri Lanka scored 260. So I think it was a neat show, and we could convincingly win, which was nice. So as a ardent India cricket follower, I loved it. But honestly, very honestly, I think it was Zimbabwe who helped us. I'll tell you how. So, first things first, they won the toss, and it was expected that they should have, of course, batted first. You know, Indian batting is a powerhouse, and giving them that free license to go and express themselves and the way they bat, I think they are much better off batting first than second. So in that case, I thought that Zimbabwe made a big tactical blunder in terms of allowing India to bat, because the kind of freedom that they enjoyed while batting was immense, and that led to such a big score that we could do. So I was 1 second, which is where I felt that Zimbabwe again, big time goofed up, was not bowling spin at all. Sikandar Raza, who is a very good spinner, he's an experienced guy, he's a fantastic guy, and to not have him bowl, of course, he's the captain, so he should have chosen to come in and bowl, because we have seen the frailties of India against spin, and I felt that it's something that they could have rather encashed on completely, because every other team was able to do, even minnows like USA, minnows like, let's say, Namibia could also do it. So Zimbabwe just completely missed the trick, and they got scared seeing Sanju Samson as a right-hander there. What best could have happened, or rather, what worse could have happened? Sanju, any which ways, hit quick fire, 250 strike rate knock. He could have done the same, but by taking that chance, maybe they could have got an early wicket with a spinner, which is what every other team has done against India. So I felt that those were the two tactical blunders. One operational blunder, missing catches, right? Two catches, very easy ones, were sort of dropped by Zimbabwe fielders. So that's something that never augurs well for any team. And as they say, catches win matches. And if you drop catches, of course, you don't win matches. So I think a lot to do with Zimbabwe's tactical blunder and a little bit on the catching side, that India could have it easy. But yeah, of course, let's on a factual way, India did it. India earned it, and I'm very excited, very happy to see that we still live another day, because it looked like India might just crash out if they didn't play as well as they did in Zimbabwe. Let's see the other things that happened in the match. So we had Sanju Samson come in, as I had mentioned earlier, that Aksar and Sanju will definitely come in. And I was expecting Tilak to sit out, but of course Rinku eventually sat out because of maybe his father was unwell, and as we see the news, unfortunately his father passed away. Condolences to Rinku's family. Losing a family member is never a good thing. So yeah, it's something that I thought maybe Rinku will continue to find his place thanks to his outstanding fielding and also lower order batting. But I think clearly they needed to beef up the top, and hence Sanju came in. So that was in a way a good thing, because you get the left and right hand combination going, and it also in a way scared the opposition like Zimbabwe to not use the spinner. So yeah, it worked well for us, and I would believe that Sanju will still be disappointed, and so am I, because he's constantly getting chances. He scored well. Matlab, he did some 25 odd at a fantastic strike rate, but that's not what he's supposed to do. When he is out there, he should be scoring 50, 70, 80, maybe even 100, like he's done four of them. So I'm a wee bit disappointed with him. But at the end of the day, it's a nice combination that I think we are building in, and I feel that this should serve us well, and hopefully that should serve us well in the next game too. Right. So quickly, let's focus on what other thing was nice was that the batter's timing. I think everybody were timing very well rather than trying to slog. So something that we saw, that maybe like Hardik admitted himself, even Abhishek, for example, was not trying to go all out slogging, whacking the balls around. Both of them were trying to time the ball. And I think that's the old classic way of batting. And of course, your intent can be positive and you can continue to bash the bowlers, but rather than slog, just try and focus more on timing. And that allowed, if you saw Abhishek, to pick the slower balls, which our team against, let's say, South Africa, it felt as if they were not even picking the slower balls of Lungi and Giri or anybody else in the SA team. But this time around, because they were more conscious of not slogging and maybe timing, they could pick these slower variations very well and hit them for sixes. So I think all in all, nice match. And like we always do, let's look at the top three things that happened in the match. Of course, number one is every batter and Abhishek. Of course, he is such an important and integral part of our cricket team that he playing well augurs well, because that sets a platform, and thereafter all the batsmen are able to play a little bit, I feel, pressure free. They don't feel as much pressure because the platform is laid well, and thereafter we are able to hence post consistently 200 plus scores. So clearly the big tick was all batters getting runs. Fantastic. It's an ideal scenario, something that Gigi likes mostly, that he doesn't want batters to score 100. He doesn't want typically heroes, one or two of them in the team. He likes that people should play quick fire 30, 40, and from batter 1 to 6, 7, if they do, then we are always going to be 200 plus. So I think it's something that went well. Second fantastic thing that continues to happen with Indian cricket is Arshdeep. He picked up 3 wickets, and all three were amazing ones. And especially, I love the last one where he bowled a Yorker, and that's something that we will need a lot against the West Indies. And of course, if we manage to scrape through to semi-finals, then there as well as the final. So I feel that somehow India bowlers, even including Bumrah and Arshdeep's efficiency on bowling the Yorkers well, has slightly dipped. So I feel that they should practice it a lot more and make sure that that's like a golden ball even today in the T20 format where bashers are going everywhere. So that was another thing. And third, of course, the big victory margin. I think that should give a lot of confidence to Indian team, Indian camp, and that should serve us well to kind of walk in with a much better mindset for the West Indies game come Sunday. So yeah, those were the top three. Let's look at the three areas that we could have done better. So the catches continue to get dropped, right? Almost every match we've lost, or rather dropped 2 catches per match. But this one, I felt that Rinku dropped this one. So it was only 1 catch we dropped in this particular match. It was Rinku. Of course, you don't expect a guy like him to drop catches. It was a slightly difficult catch, but he's taken these and more. So that's something that I feel that we continue to not improve in this area. Second, very critical thing, Shivam Dubey was smashed. He was smashed for 46 runs in 2 overs. And you know what? Suddenly, this fellow, some people would argue that he was bowling very well in the bilateral series against the South Africans and the New Zealanders. And I still believe that he's a very good bowler. But you know the timing of his overs. So, for example, the last few matches, he's coming after the 12th, 13th over. So, by then, the opposition are in a bashing mode completely. Now that I believe for the kind of bowler that Shivam Dubey is, he bowls gentle medium pace, which is about 120 kmph, which is not good enough for batters these days. So I feel that his kind of bowling suits better in over 7 to 12. So if India starts, like last match, they used him after the 13th over, if I'm not wrong. So which is too late for a bowler like him. I think we should let the 13th post 13th over mark for the Bumrahs, the Arshdeeps, and even Akshar Patel does very well. Even Varun does well. Rather than having Dubey come in into that role, Hardik Pandya does well more often than not. So I felt that Shivam Dubey constantly getting smashed in the last couple of games is a area of concern. So using it much before is a smarter idea. One surprising thing that's happening in the last couple of matches is that Varun Chakravarti is also getting smashed, clobbered rather. So last match he gave away 35 runs, took 1 wicket, and that was his tally in 4 overs. So which is a run rate of 9. Usually Varun is around the 7 marks, 7 and thereabouts. Just like Bumrah, he does not allow a lot of runs, but suddenly people are picking him well, or suddenly people have become very positive against him. So that's a bit of a concern. So I really hope he's a very intelligent cricketer. He's an interior designer and he's a smart guy. So hopefully he will find a way and design something beautiful to avoid getting bashed in the next one, though. Right, so that's the India Zimbabwe match, and what's the way forward? It's something that we need to look at, because it's going to be make or break, as they say, do or die. But I generally, to my team, always say that do before you die. So we don't have the option to do or die, but let's do it before we die, right? So I feel that it's going to be very critical how we handle West Indies right up front, because they clearly have a lot of firepower. I also put in a story where I mentioned the strike rates of both the teams. Both the teams is going to be a six-hitting carnival of sorts. But this match is going to be played in Eden Gardens. So Eden is not known for very high scores. So it's not a typically 200, 250 kind of a wicket. So the average run rates there are about the eights, eight and a half. So which means that a 170, 180 kind of score can also be winning score. So that's something that both the teams will have to be very mindful of. And I would want, of course, our superior knowledge of India as a country and Eden Garden, our teams would have played zillion times, to kind of use that aspect. So, what is going to work for West Indies and something India should be wary of is the spinners, because West Indies spinners are in form. Akil Hussain, you've got, of course, Roston Chase will definitely, in my view, come into this match just like the last match, because we have a lot of left-handers. So I am guessing that Shai Hope, the captain of West Indies, will bring in the Roston Chase as the offie, because that's been our weakness clearly throughout the World Cup. So this is another one. Third, of course, Gurkesh Moti. He is somebody who's bowled exceedingly well as well. So they have the spin trio that they might just employ to defeat us, because for them also it's a make or break. So if West Indies loses this one against us, they are out of the tournament, or we will be knocked out. So I'm sure they will do their best to put spinners, because otherwise fast bowlers, I think our team is playing exceedingly well, right? And I feel that this is the time. Our catching has to be cent percent. And not only do we need to take all catches that are come our way, but even those 50-50 chances. I feel now is the time, henceforth in this tournament, our catching will really make or break for us, is my gut feel. I feel that this is an area that we'll have to do exceedingly well. And clearly, Shivam can't bowl after the 13th over. Otherwise, West Indians will smash him like nobody's business. So that's something that one must be wary of. And batting, the way we have been batting, I think we should continue the same template. And for that, of course, initially spend 5-6 balls assessing the wicket. I've seen a number of teams and a number of matches where it's been about 2 overs and it's what, 10, 12 runs, and suddenly the power play ends at 70. So no harm in sort of waiting out, playing an over or two, and then deciding to smash. So I feel that I think the match is going to be super exciting, just like how it was against Pakistan. So looking forward to this Sunday one. And while I enjoy my coffee, I hope you had yours too. Bye bye then.